Hi, I'm Magda Niesiec, and this is Asian Movie Pulse Interviews. And today I am with Kristo Immanuel, whose film Better of Dead is being screened at the CinemAsia Film Festival. So, Kristo, could you tell me where the idea for this film come from?
Yeah, sure. It was a discussion between me and my wife in the car as we were heading home from watching another film, and the inspiration was from my experience when I was younger. But of course, it's not the same. But like it's more of like so when I was younger, my grandmother died. My grandmother passed away, and I'm a pretty unpopular kid, in the class, like a bit nerdy, a bit like weird kid, and so I don't have a lot of friends. But when my grandmother, no, not grandmother passed away, sorry, I was about to move to another city, and all of the sudden everyone in the class were like, "Oh, good luck, oh, we'll be rooting for you, have fun there," and they're like, "We'll miss you." And it was very interesting to me, and the feeling stayed with me for a very long time until I grow up, because like when I was still there, you're not friends with me, but like once I'm going to move, or like once there's something big happening, you're giving this so much empathy. So I changed the situation from me moving out to somebody dying, somebody's passing away, because it also usually happen when somebody is passing away. Usually your friends is all of the sudden like uh suddenly like very very close to you. They're like, "Oh, I'm giving you support," even though the before somebody passed away, they don't even close to you, they're not even friends with you. But now they're all of a sudden like your best friend. So
Mm.
yeah, that's what happened, and me and my wife wrote it, and we translate that experience into, yeah, Better Off Dead.
Yeah, but then some of Gemma's actions push moral boundaries. So,
Sorry.
some of Gemma's actions push moral boundaries.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, so I'm wondering if did you want the audience to empathize with him or to keep some distance? Like, what is your
Yes,
intention?
thank you, that's a great question. From the beginning, my in my head is like, I really want to make a movie where the main character is not the best guy to root for. Like I really love films like, I mean series, for this example, like Breaking Bad, or like Better Call Saul, or like Fleabag, or like movies like Fargo. The main character is not like the most charming character, and we kind of want to root for him, but we don't know if we should. And it was what I was going for. And I also love pushing boundaries. Like, for example, in Indonesia there are not many dark comedy films, and I really want to introduce more dark comedy to Indonesia, because I love uncomfortable movies, movies that make me uncomfortable. And I want Indonesian people to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm.
So I also want to make art that is conveying sincerity with insincerity. So yeah, that's what I was going for. So when Gemma is pushing boundaries, I want to see at what point that the audience stopped, caring for what he's doing, empathizing with it. Like, I want audience to be uncomfortable. I want the audience to feel like, "Ah, I want this to work, but I'm scared. But how? What's gonna happen if it doesn't work?" Yeah, I want the audience to be in the edge of their seat, and yeah, it's really lovely to see, even especially in Indonesia, when we screen on the theater, looking at the audiences. Some of them like crawl down to their to their seat and like close their eyes. Like it's not even a horror movie. Why are you closing your eyes? So yeah.
So, apart from Indonesian reaction, the how is the reaction here in Europe? Was
It's very interesting because one of my concern was most of the jokes would not translate as well to
mm,
to the European audience, but there are a lot of laughs, which I'm glad for because I'm a bit nervous about the comedy part. But yeah, for example, like jokes about yatim, yatim in Indonesian people are very big culturally. It's about it's when someone's father died. So if you don't have any a father anymore, you're called yatim. So there are some jokes about yatim in the film. But turns out, because the subtitle also explain what yatim is, it translates pretty well. Also, the religious joke about the priest is actually an actor, um, played by a Muslim actor.
mm,
And yeah, so when he said hallelujah, he said it with the tone of assalamu alaikum, and turns out in the theater people laugh. So yeah, okay, so like yeah, I'm pretty happy.
good. And also the film is sometimes described as a cringe comedy.
Yes, yes.
So I'm wondering what cringe mean to you.
Cringe for me. I mean, maybe this is proclaimed. I don't know, but like I feel like I'm also a bit cringy sometimes, and I like it about that. I like when people are uncomfortable when laughing. So like sometimes I do like cringy jokes too. And for me personally, cringe is like when you're uncomfortable with the situation because it's so uncomfortable, the joke sometimes, or the situation. And mostly situation, because usually I laugh at uncomfortable situations. Like, for example, when my friends are fighting in front of me, instead of being uncomfortable, I just wanted to burst out laughing, because like, what is going on right now? Or like, for example, I put it in the movie too, when we usually in funerals, when we're taking pictures together, I usually don't know whether to smile or put a sad face. Like, if I smile, it's rude, or but if I put a sad face, I'm not that sad, because this is like a friend of a friend of a friend of my mother who's dead. But like, we have to take a picture together. So yeah, it's a bit cringy for me to talk about when people talk about that. But yeah, I love cringy movies like Friendship, the latest one that came out, or like Dumb and Dumber. Like, it's fun, it's cringy, and sometimes I love that. I really wanted to make a statement through, I don't know how to put this, but like stupid movies. I used to
Mhm.
watch a lot of stupid movies, and I learned a lot from stupid movies. So I feel like I really want to make a movie that feels like a stupid movie, but once you watch the film on your way home, it slowly creeps on you. Like, you slowly get the message, and then you're a bit depressed with the message, but at the first, like, oh, this is funny, ha ha ha. And then on your way home, you talk with your friend about the movie, you realize that, oh my god, it's a bit depressing, the loneliness of it. But yeah, that's what I was going for.
Great. So do you plan to continue working in this genre, or you think about doing something
Absolutely.
different?
No, I absolutely do. I'm just hoping that the producers in Indonesia still believe in cringy movies and also satire and black comedy, or like dark comedy, because I think that's my go-to genre. I'm still writing right now for my next film. Still, in the cringy satire black comedy still. And I'm hoping that um, with the experience before, I can make something even more better, I guess. Yeah.
Mm. Then you mentioned Fleabag. So your
Mhm.
film plays a lot with fourth wall breaking, but at the same time,
Yeah.
some of the characters acknowledge it and they see
Mhm.
that Gemma is talking to himself, so like onto the camera.
Mhm.
So when did you decide to make it visible within the world of the film? Was it the
Oh,
initial idea?
yeah. So in the beginning, from the first draft, me and Marv already know that we're gonna make it breaking the fourth wall because me personally, I love movies that break the fourth wall. You know, but I haven't watched Fleabag then though. But like I watched it actually after we finished the final draft of Better Off Dead. But yeah, the technique itself, you know, breaking the fourth wall, I feel like it's very interesting, you know. And uh Gemma, as you said, is, you know, it's questionable his moral. So I use breaking the fourth wall to make Gemma closer to the audience, because what he's doing is morally wrong. So yeah, but I think it's on the fourth draft that we decided to show where when he is breaking the fourth wall, the people outside of his world can see that he's talking to himself.
Mm.
And one of the reason that we did that is because it is inspired by myself, because I didn't know it at the time, but when we changed it, my wife said, "Yeah, that's what you do." I'm like, "What do you mean? What I do?" Yeah, the talking to yourself part. Oh, I do that. Yeah, all the time. Like I can see you talking to yourself in front of the mirror sometimes, or like when you're driving, you're like mumbling down. I don't even know what you're talking about, but like, yeah, why don't you say anything? Like, why would I say anything? Just, you know, I don't
Mm.
care. It's like, oh, that's cool. All right. Maybe
But
like I've done it for years. I just don't notice it.
mm. Well, I think that's everyone sometimes talk to themselves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but also like the Gemma's behavior and his self-talk is sometimes read through the lens of neurodiversity. I don't know
Yes,
if you've
yes.
read this. So how do you respond to that interpretation?
Yeah, it's great because in the very beginning, in the first draft, I didn't even think about making a movie about that. You know, I was just making a movie talking about the loneliness part. But as we go on, as we keep writing on the movie, and I discussed with my actor Omara Esteglal, who is a very brilliant actor. We did a lot of research for the character with the actor himself, and we did a lot of research on neurodivergent too. And it is very interesting because a lot of Gemma's behavior was made because of the researches that we did. For example, the this
Mm,
movement that Gemma do is one of the things that we researched on. And when he sleeps like this, actually that's how I sleep. And and turns out Omara sleeps the same way. He likes to make a T-Rex hen. And then we are curious, is it only just the two of us, or like is that the neurodivergent thing? So we researched on that too, and turns out, yeah, it's one of the things that neurodivergent people do. And so we dived down on that. So I directed Omara to when you're on the office, please mask as much as possible. Like you're anxious all the time. Like you're scared that people will see the true self, your true self. So mask all the time. Even if in the ending, if you see it, the Gemma's character feels like, oh, he's open now, but you can see that he's still masking.
mm,
Like most people may be like, oh, he's different now, he's a changed person. No, he's masking it. He's just better at masking it. and and I'm so glad because a lot of Indonesian people who are now neurodivergent especially reached out to me, and they said that finally they can explain to their parents, their friends, that this is what's happening in my head. You know, I had one of the audiences that came to me and thanked me because her best friend. So they watched together, she and her best friend. She never understood her. Like she's like, I don't get it. Like what do you mean? After watching Better Off Dead, she's like, in my whole life, I never knew people could be thinking that way because she is a neurotypical, so she don't really talk to herself in her head that much. She don't really overthink that much. So she was like, "Thank you for making this film because I would never understand her not before this film." So yeah, it's very interesting. I'm so thankful for the people who are in the neurodivergent community that reached out to me. Yeah, hopefully it's not that long. The answer from
No,
me.
no, it's great. So, like, the last question, do you see yourself in Gemma? Like you mentioned that yes, but maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I see myself a lot in Gemma. You know, it's my negative, not negative. How do you say the first thought that came into your head? The Yeah, yeah, things like that. Like I never act upon it, but there are a lot of things that
Mm,
are in my head that, oh, maybe if I do this I get attention, or like, oh, maybe if I do this they like me, you know. But the difference is Gemma actually do it. So like Gemma is basically me, but has more courage to do it. So the things that I want to do, I put it on Gemma. And yeah, hopefully people like Gemma, people like me can relate to the film and can learn a thing or two. But I want more people who are not actually like Gemma and me to watch it, so they would understand us more.
mm,
In Indonesia, one of the audience also DM'd me that she watched it with her mother, and she was trying to get to a psychologist for a very long time, but her mother said, you're fine." And then after watching Better Off Dead, her mother's like, "I'm really sorry. I didn't know that that's what's happening to you. Let's go to a psychologist tomorrow." So yeah, it's a very interesting experience, and I'm so thankful that she watched it with her mom.
okay, great. Thank you so much for the answers and for your time.
Thank you, Magda. Thank you very much for your time too.